DJing at the heart can be boring. That's why there's so many lights and so many different distractions, because unless you're actually mixing, there's nothing to do if you're just going from one song to the next. You just stand there. I know it's happened in the past and not much anymore, but just pressing random buttons or just sort of, hovering over them or whatever was being done, just, yeah, just let's just not do that. So we've established using effects, okay? We've talked about a range of different things, how to use multiple effects together. What I want to look at this one here is, how do you know sort of which effects to use when? You have a range of different effects, right? You have the reverbs, the delays, the shimmers, the noise. You have a bunch of different things. You have several things on the pads that you can change and work with. So there's a bunch of different things that is quite powerful what you can do. So that being said, how do you sort of know what to use when? Short answer, to keep it simple, just practice. Just practice, practice, practice. And then you'll start picking up, similarities. The long answer is thinking about the characteristics of the song that you're playing. What do I mean by that? Let me play this and then see what you pick up in terms of the musical aspects of it. The thing I notice, and it's for me prominent, is the snare and the characteristic of that snare. The fact that it's not clear, it's very washy. There's a lot of white noise in there, and it's very sort of tss, 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 tss. I'm a savage, how you like I had it, I'm surrounded 20 bad, and it takes up quite a lot. It almost has a bit of a gate on it, and it takes up quite a bit of space. You have the vocals, obviously, and you have a lot of other stuff happening, but that takes up a good amount of space. And I'm not a huge fan of that sound. I'm working around that. I'm working with it to create something a little more substantial there. So what we're doing is we're creating these super long tails, adding in delays, adding 2-3 different effects together to create a bit of something extra to prolong it out a little bit. Now I'm here, I'm changing tempo, checking the song, want to make sure that it's with the next one. And this is where creating our own expression in the mix. We're telling a story in the mix. So we're working with one aspect of the song, but we're creating a story. We're adding different effects. We're having a bit of fun with the fader, and we're just adding a bit of our own flair to things as we're going. DJing at the heart can be boring. That's why there's so many lights and so many different distractions, because unless you're actually mixing, there's nothing to do if you're just going from one song to the next. You just stand there. I know it's happened in the past and not much anymore, but just pressing random buttons or just sort of, hovering over them or whatever was being done, just let's just not do that. Instead of just, standing there, maybe look into, okay, what's happening there? What can I use? And, start with that. And just, work with it simple and say, okay, let me try this effect or that effect and slowly build from there. So instead of just standing there, you can actually, incorporate something extra so audience can look at you. They don't have to look at the screen. They don't have to look at every other distraction. They can watch you, and enjoy the experience of the mix. And that's what we're doing. There's nothing else happening here. They have a couple guitars. That's it. There's a wall behind us, and we're enjoying the mix.